Hey curious thinkers, have you ever woken up from a dream so real that, for a few seconds, you couldn't tell if you were awake or still inside it? Maybe you were flying through space, eating a mountain of ice cream, or chatting with your dog who suddenly spoke perfect English. When you opened your eyes, you probably thought, wait, was that real? That question, is it real? Might sound simple, but it's one of the oldest mysteries in philosophy, one that has made brilliant thinkers scratch their heads for thousands of years. So today, let us explore whether the world around us is truly real or if we might just be dreaming with our eyes open. Let's start with your senses. Your eyes see, your ears hear, your skin feels, your nose smells, and your tongue tastes. Together, they tell your brain what's going on. But what if your senses could be fooled? When you see a rainbow, it looks so real across the sky, yet you can't touch it, can't walk under it, and it vanishes when you move closer. So is the rainbow real or just like pretending to be something solid? Think about a 3D movie. That dragon seems to fly right toward your face. And even though you know it's just light on a screen, your heart still races as if it's real. If your brain can be tricked by a movie, how can you be sure it's not being tricked by everything else? A long time ago, the philosopher Descartes wondered the same thing. How can I know the world isn't just one long dream? He imagined an invisible evil genius controlling all his senses, making him see and believe things that weren't real. And then he realized, even if everything else was fake, the fact that he was thinking about it proved that he existed. That's why he said, I think, therefore I am. But Descartes didn't have movies, video games, or virtual reality. If he saw today's VR tech, he'd probably faint. In a VR world, you can climb mountains, walk through forests, and talk to digital people, and yet none of it exists physically. Your brain and hands are sure it's real, while your body stands still in a room wearing funny goggles. So if something feels real to your mind, does that make it real enough? Now imagine this. What if life itself is like one enormous simulation, a cosmic video game where everything you see, your friends, your school, and your favorite pizza are just code? Sounds wild, but some scientists and philosophers think it might be true. They argue that if technology ever becomes advanced enough to simulate reality perfectly, we might already be living inside one right now. Let's bring it closer to home. How do you know that everyone around you is real, that they are not just characters in your own dream? When you dream at night, people laugh, talk, and act just like they do in real life, and they feel completely real until you wake up. So how can you be sure that this life isn't just another dream you haven't woken up from yet? But even if it is a dream, that doesn't mean it's meaningless. Dreams are full of color, imagination, and feeling. When you dream of flying, you feel joy. When you dream of falling, you feel fear. Those emotions are real, even if the dream isn't. Maybe reality isn't just about what is physical. Maybe it is also about what feels true in your heart and mind. In Buddhist philosophy, the world we see is often compared to an illusion, not fake, but temporary, like a rainbow or a wave that rises and fades. It's real for a while, but constantly changing, so we shouldn't be fooled into thinking it's solid forever. They say the wise person lives in the world, but sees through its illusions, finding truth and beauty beneath them. Here's a quick experiment. Look around your room, see the colors, shapes, and shadows. Touch your desk or your phone. Feel how solid they seem. Now close your eyes and imagine it all. The same desk, the same light, the same air. Even without your eyes, your mind can rebuild it. So which feels more real, the one outside or the one inside your mind? Maybe reality isn't just outside or inside, but both. Perhaps what's truly real isn't what you can touch, but what gives meaning to your experiences. A dream of kindness can change your heart. A memory of love can make you smile years later, and that's as real as anything made of atoms. So maybe reality isn't one single layer, but many. There's the physical world, the emotional world, the dream world, each real in its own way, like levels of a game. You might wake up from one and still be inside another, and that might be what makes existence so mysterious and beautiful. So is it all real? Maybe yes, maybe no, maybe both at once. What matters is that you keep wondering and looking at the world with eyes that see magic in the ordinary. Because whether this is a dream, a simulation, or the real deal, it's still your story, and that makes it real enough. Next time you wake from a dream and wonder what's real, just smile and say, maybe both are, because maybe life itself is the most beautiful dream we'll ever have. And in our next episode, we'll explore how philosophy fits into everyday life, the one with homework, friends, and pizza nights. Get ready for episode 5, Philosophy and Everyday Life, not just for old people. Until then, keep dreaming, keep questioning, and remember, even if the world might be an illusion, your curiosity is as real as it gets.